Yeah? So all together now. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in my arrow, and there's a lot at stake. We only got heartburn, but no heartbreak. So hey, hey, hey. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We're having a good time. It's getting late. We only got heartburn, but no heartbreak. So hey, hey, hey. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Go on, boy. Have another drink, have another plate, have some more heartburn, but no heartbreak. So hey, hey, hey. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we leave tomorrow. We think we got what it takes. We leave with heartburn. Oh, but no heartbreak. Hey, hey, hey.
Over the years, obviously, we make a few records in the past, in my history alone. And they've always been in studios, and that could be a little confining sometimes. And so we wanted to just get out, go on location somewhere, and a good friend of mine house, and we talked to him about it, and said, let's try it down here. You know, you're isolated here, and all the band is together here, and nobody have to leave and nobody have to go and attend to something. You're just here, you're just stuck here and you're together. And once technically it could work, and once the engineer said, look, yes, we could pull this off in here without any major problems, then that decision was made early, and I think it's a good one because it's real, just quiet down here, real cool. No distractions early on.
Worthless fucks. It's a Monday morning love situation, and after all these years there ain't no solution. Take my stupid advice, you better start a revolution for this Monday morning love situation.
Just decided to come out here and do a recording in 5 days and basically live with each other, because when we're in studio we kind of just go home and think about things. Here, you know, we're here and we kind of live in the album in a sense.
Join up as a band. We didn't do a full album for a while. Eh? Since Exile Baby, and that's like 4 years, 5 years ago. And we got into an era where we were just doing some singles, we did an EP, and so we had this feel that we wanted to write a record.
It's alright with me. It's alright with me. Monday morning love situation. all these years there ain't no solution. Take my stupid advice, let's start a revolution. For this Monday morning love situation. Sing it now, shout it.
It's sounding like we have a new sound, and we're not paying much attention to it in that we're not purposely trying to change the sound, but it does sound a bit different.
I was kind of apprehensive about joining joint pop because in a rock band there's not really a room for keyboardists per se. I was worried about, I talked to Gary about it, about joining joint pop, and I said, but Gary, are your fans going to accept the new sound of joint pop? He said, well, yeah, that's the beauty of joint pop. I said, what do you mean that's the beauty of joint pop? I said, the beauty of joint pop is that they always come in with something fresh. I say, okay, let's go for it.
Never had a keyboard player, so what happened is while we were looking for the bass player, we asked Phil to come over to one rehearsal and just sort of play bass notes for us so we could see that we're making some sense in the writing. And he came and he did that, and obviously he would play a chord also, and we get to realize, hey, that the whole sound of that thing started to feel good, and quickly realized the songs we were writing does have this sort of piano organ type thing going on in it. I think it's a big part of the record, that new element of that. You never had that sound before. It's guitars, drum, bass has been it, and then in the past it's a little saxophone and percussion and so on, but I never made a record with piano and keyboards before, so that is another part of the challenge and the excitement, and it's quite nice.
We're just more rock and roll now. We've kind of shifted from that calypso fusion rock to more straight up rock and roll type music. It's just because that's how we feel right now, is the music that we listen to now. We're heavily influenced by a lot of English bands right now, so I think that's the direction that the band took naturally.
We're just letting it go, we're just letting it flow really, and I guess people who have been following joint pop for a long time, I think it is quite different.
Somewhere, yes, somewhere, I tell you somewhere, the fool is waking up to reality. Yeah, I'm somewhere, I tell you somewhere, you're somewhere, some fool is sitting right beside me now. There goes the right on right now. Somewhere, I tell you somewhere, you're somewhere, the spool. There goes the right now. There goes the right now.
I mean, this album really was inspired in a big way in what we experienced when we went to London. Huh?
Basically, is how we've been writing for the last few years. We've been touring and then coming back and writing an album based on the streets of wherever we've been. So Exile Baby was basically based entirely on New York, our New York experience. And this one will be no different.
So all that travel stories and travel thoughts and visions. So pretty much you knew when we got back here we were going to be writing this record in January, and so it's sort of like based loosely on the travels and so on, you know.
This entire album has been more or less everybody inputting. There are a lot of songs written by Phil, a lot of songs written by Gary, of course, but the whole entire album just came together within a couple months. Basically, we just got into a room and just started playing a set of music.
We actually went by Dion, the drummer, and had a couple of jam sessions, as it were, you know. And songs actually started came out of the jam sessions. I mean, Home struck up a chord or two, a 4-bar riff, and be like, hey, this is working. The guy started to write. I jumped in and it was like chemistry going on.
I would come up with some songs, just the basic frameworks. I generally start at home, just getting some ideas, be it a topic, a lyric, a song, a melody, and I'll take them into the band, in the band room, and just sort of show the band it, and they all jump on it, and we just start going from there. And
these streets, they ain't my own.
there you go again.
These streets, they ain't my own.
You know, we kind of sing and write a bunch of Trinidad songs for the past 10 years. Serious topics, it works. I mean, crack, pit bulls, guns, just stuff. It's dealing with Trinidad topics and the whole nature here, and in a sense nobody listening. Nobody listening to, not the message in the music, but I guess it's that. Nobody was paying attention, nobody cares. And we saying all these things and then they keep coming and happening over and over. If you listen to the old joint pop music, you could form headlines with it. It's full Trinidad things. And part of me ended up saying, you know what? This record I ain't talking to nobody under that. Right? Nobody hearing me anyhow there listening to me. I'm gonna just write some stories, you know?
In my opinion, it's some of the best shit Gary ever wrote. Song for song, I mean, I in love with the songs, and it might be a biased thing because I was part of the creative process, but I wouldn't be able to tell you lyrically what Gary trying to get out there. I mean, fuck, you have a lyric about a woman eating on TV, you know? You know what I mean?
And I don't want you, but I just need you. And
Writing the songs is real cool. We were having fun doing it, kind of looking forward to leaving home and going to the rehearsal room. The excitement was good, you know. It really felt good and exciting writing songs again for a new record, you know. Gotta eat, man. What else? Yeah. Very rich. Again, fire.
Because when Gary told me he was coming up, I thought you could have cooked because you don't drink, you don't smoke. I said, well, at least you could do is cook. Nothing, boy, nothing.
Come TNT, right? Right. Get back on TV food. Whoa.
Over the years writing songs, I realized sometimes you just scribble. Sometimes you just put things together. Some words sing better than some, and so sometimes they really have no meaning. Sometimes they have a slight meaning. Sometimes they take their own life. The better something like things sort of growing around you, you know, be it children, be it relationships, be it a plant, but just something growing, you know. I heard her say a line on TV one night, just kind of flicking through. I saw an interview and she just used a phrase saying, turn the newspapers off. I don't know if it's because of a language, something, but it just sounded strange. And it kind of stuck in my head, and when that song came up, we started the song like that, you know. Turn the newspapers off.
Turn the newspapers off. Turn the newspapers off. 'Cause it's on my mind.
Desperate housefly, yeah. Concept of, you know, sort of reverse role type thing. Man in the house, housewife, housefly. It's more or less a sort of humor concept too, you know. But putting your position in like a fly just buzzing around all day.
Train easy, you know. Washing every day.
We did a tour to England last year in November, and it's one of the places we went to was Walt, and we spent a weekend there with another band. Some real cool guys in a band called Litmus Test, and they hosted us for the weekend, and it was sort of like the nicest part of our trip in that we were just dealing with some real cool people, and they were real nice to hang out with, and saw the area, you know, went to watch a Walsall football match, and we all kind of fell in love with the little city just for that little weekend. And this is about kind of just the sort of dreamland between there and here.
And I'm walking in no direction in particular.
Sorry.
I don't think I could ever record in a studio again having come up there. Honestly. But the sound, the ambience, everything is just...
I really liked the idea of doing it on location in Miaro. You know, it's a very different vibe to being in the studio. It's a lot more open, a lot more friendly.
Because you have the sea breeze, it's a little hot, but a very relaxed atmosphere, so it's a whole different vibe.
We just had to make sure we had everything possible down to the last wire, last pick, last piece of food, and because you don't want to just have to pack up and go and find something. So that was the process, and the challenge is making sure we had everything organized.
We have on board a general of the engineering industry, which is Ryan Agostini. So he took everything into account. He came and scouted the place about 2 weeks ago and found out what they needed, what sound diffusers they needed, what boards they need, you know, how to run the keyboards. Because the general acoustics is actually a room. It's a big room, so you have a lot of room reverb and all kind of stuff bouncing back at you. But they catered for that. you know, and actually incorporated some of that into some of the songs, you know.
Anytime I get involved with a project, I really just go for a natural sound. I want the drums to sound like drums. I want the guitars to sound, and it all to mesh together to make it into a song.
We could not hope for it to work out any better way. Absolutely, absolutely magical. Set up the studio, set up the drums, mic'd up everything, and again, as I say, we could not hope for a better drum sound, we could not hope for a better feel, could not hope for better magic, inspiration, whatever you want to call it.
Early Monday morning sort of thing, little hangover, whatever. Rush down the road for breakfast, started roti. End up in the shop there getting something, and the cashier was on the phone. Sounded like she was advising some other woman, it could be her sister or something. And it sounded like a love thing, like the person she's talking to have a love problem going on, and it's a whole love thing. And sound like somebody under a little pressure, you know. That started as a kind of music piece. Just got something going, and I was trying to find something fit for a little while. And then while home writing one night lyrics, I sort of put down something about the irony of it all. And again, sometimes you look back at the lyrics next day trying to figure out what was that really, and try to find some sense in it. And then it was just structured in a real simple way, the irony of it all. Somebody's gonna be left stranded, somebody's gonna fall, somebody's gonna be left crying, somebody's gonna have a ball. You know, all the people die in another shopping mall, and that's the irony of it all.
That's the irony of the song.
Brass and steel. Kind of strange in that, you know, I grew up in San Fernando and so on. And I had this guy I know growing up, and he died recently, a sort of murder thing, you know. So I went down to that funeral really, and a cousin of mine sort of had a nickname for the guy, Brass and Steel, and again it stuck in my head. Spelling Bee is another one of those sort of just throwing stuff on a paper and see what comes out kind of thing, you know. Musically is a real sort of new wave thing, kind of trying to capture some of that 70s, 80s, real quirky keyboard, Talking Heads, Blondie, modern day metric type thing, you know. So we never did a song like that before, and so we're just checking it out that way. You know?
Before we broke up 2 years ago, I always felt that we had a mission to accomplish, and I thought that when we did disband in 2004, I thought that, you know, we really didn't accomplish what we needed to. So when Gary called me to start back, I was all game for it, you know.
I was worried about if I not could write again, or if I just had the drive for it or the ambition for making a new record and all that. And once the sound started coming and the new band started getting the stuff together, and the chemistry was feeling real good, everything was feeling real positive, you felt like you want to go to rehearsal. Before rehearsal has been a drag for a while, but this one just sort of revitalized the whole scene and just feeling a little fresh about it, you know.
It's refreshing to be part of the new creative process of actually contributing towards a song, full production of a song, you know.
Just clap. Real claps or real claps? Money. Real. Oh, man, vibe kind of thing, no?
That's good.
Hey, you're singing the lyrics to the wrong fucking guitar. Let's make that thing, you know. Probably irony. Let me see it, Gladys. Woman. Cameron.
Thank you, Jester.
Claudia.
Oh, go with that thing. I don't write if I don't want to write, or if there's no purpose. Like, we stayed away from writing for a while because we were sort of shaping up the new band or the new members in the band. I didn't want to really dump things on them immediately. And the Fool, well, that's me, for sure. That's me. Yeah, when we were going to England on that tour, we sort of wrote that song to, sometimes like writing little protective mantras in a sense when traveling. Just to remind you that you might see certain things on the road and certain things to just keep you level and to keep you as a band level, as a person level too, you know. So it sort of was a little mantra to, that way you wouldn't get there and get shocked by certain things, that you'll be prepared for it. It was a song to really prepare yourself for travel, really. And it's about a fool, or not being one. This time will blow over. Ooh, what a hand. Oh, what a hangover. And you tie me down with something, but I just can't stand from shaking. That's the thing, Damon started, a little riff going. This time will blow over. And that just came out in that, the lyric itself, I met you, you met me. And the rest, as they say, generally the line is, the rest, as they say, is history. But I used that in a speech once for a best man for a wedding, you know, my best friend. And I used that saying, well, I met him, he met me, and the rest, as they say, was a mystery. So I ended up using it to just kind of get the song going in the room, and I ended up keeping it. I met you, you met me. The rest, as they say, is a mystery with a lonesome too. Just me and you. You're helping me make this mystery. Lyrics and me over the years has really been about just sometimes writing things, you know, because some you have to rhyme. Some sings better than some. So sometimes, as I said, the word takes its own shape, you know. It's not all literal, it's not all my stories, and it's not all this kind of thing. Sometimes it just happens there, you know, and I always say it's obviously somebody else writing the songs, you know, the song's there, you know. I mean, God sends songs there. It's what you could grab and what is for you, and you just have to accept that sometimes and try and find the strength to portray it in the most honest way, you know?
You're my mystery. I'm your mystery.
I would like people to listen to it and say, hey, check this out. These guys just writing some songs and they're good at it and they're honest about it. That's the key thing is the honesty factor of it. You know? If they could get the same thing that we get out of it, which is that they have bands playing music still, just relying on the instruments and relying on the enjoying being together and playing together and that, well, old school honest band feel, you know.
Whatever happens in life. All we do is play music and try to document music at a certain period, you know. So this is basically where we are now, and that's why we're documenting it, recording-wise. You know, as with everybody, you know, you expect or you want or you hope for something a little grander, and you know, to actually be paid to do this instead of us paying to do it. But I really believe in the music that we're doing now, and I think people will generally grasp where we are at right now with this new band.
Scene-wise, we still creating our own things. We Joint Pop still looking for venues to put on their little shows in their little own way. But I say we don't get called to play in parties and shows, and we always seem to be avoided for some reason. I guess people have this thing, one, they always think we're expensive. Like, well, we can't afford them. Don't know why. They don't even call in the first place. No, we go take our 2 beers. Yeah. So he missed out on that. And then I guess they probably think we're difficult to deal with somehow or the other. I don't know where that comes from. But so the scene itself, we just into our own thing really. Every now and then we kind of meet the scene and we work around it. But my philosophy has always been careful of scenes, because scenes come and scenes go. And you don't want to be part of the scene that is going. So in that way, I managed to kind of work in and out of it all, you know. Anytime it starts to become, like people think they're tying it down into one thing, we always shift and move, and it's like, where they going, you know? We were just kind of capturing them, this certain crowd, and then this certain crowd, and we just keep shifting. You know? Which kind of messy too, in that they're saying, well, why they went and do that? And but that keeping us, I guess, fresh, you know.
When I passed you in the doorway, you took me with a glance. I should have took that last bus home, but I asked you for a dance. Now we go steady to the pictures. I always get chocolate stains on my pants, and my father, he's going crazy. He says I'm living in a trance, but I'm dancing in the moonlight. It's got me in the spotlight, and it's alright dancing in the moonlight on this long hot summer night. I'm on the streets again. I disobeyed another warning. I should have been in by 10. Now I'll have to stay out until Sunday. I'll have to say I stayed with friends. Oh, if it's a habit worth forming, if it's a means to justify the end. Dancing in the moonlight, it's got me in its spotlight. And it's alright dancing in the moonlight on this long hot summer night. And I'm walking home. The last bus is long gone, but I'm still dancing in the moonlight.